Good morning, everyone. I'm Holly Vega with Military Home Base, and we are continuing live with our series of Military Hearts Matter. This is a disease that happens to many people, and it also affects many people in our military community. And so I have asked my girlfriends who have shared with me, because I say I'm secretly the heart whisperer. I just met Kim recently, did not know anything other than she was a great coastie wife and she was going to give me what's happening here in Tampa. I just wanted the information for us to do the pantry, and we just got to talking, and then all of a sudden she told me her story, and I was like, seriously? Like, here we go again. Tell me more. And I said, I'm going to call you back on this one. Let's finish this, and I'm calling you back so that I can talk to you. So today Kim is here with us to be able to share why she goes why she wears red, why is she a heart advocate, and she's going to share her story. So Kim, I'm passing the mic on to you because you're the only one that can share your story in the best way. And
Aw,
thank you for joining me
Holly.
this morning.
Thank you, Holly. That's really sweet of you. Um, I'm sharing my story, and I guess in a way, it's not a first time because I am never quiet about his story. However, it's never something that I typically lead with because I like people to get to know him first and whatnot. Because you know what? It's not who defines him, but it is definitely something, especially in this chapter of life, is really it's really big. It's a big deal right now.
Right.
He's 4. My little man's Oliver is 4. And when I was 35, the good old age of 35 when I had him, and I don't know, but when you're 35, you have to go for an advanced ultrasound, which I kind of laughed off because I have 2 other babies and they are perfectly wonderful and we had no issues at all. However, I went for this advanced ultrasound, really just blindly, just looking forward to seeing if it was a girl or boy. And the look on the tech's face just kind of said it all. Um, so Oliver has a couple of different differences. He's not just has a heart difference, but he also has a limb difference where his arm is a little shorter than others, and he's got a little differences in his hands, which is obviously, kind of rare and kind of, I don't think even that ultrasound tech had seen it before. But we had learned at 20 weeks that he would more than likely need, surgery for his heart at some point and surgery for other things and all of that. Um, Fast forward when he's born, he's having echoes, he's having all sorts of tests done, and they show that he has an ASD, which is just a simple hole in your heart. We all are born with them, but his is just getting bigger and bigger as he's getting older instead of closing. Obviously, we prayed hard and we're like, just close it, just close it. Um, that didn't happen, which is okay because this is still the journey that we're on now. Um, he he had to have 2 major hand surgeries, and he was set up for another major hand surgery when we found out we had to do a cath on his heart last May. Yes, last May, because they basically said if we have any chance of closing this, with a catheter instead of open heart surgery, we need to do it now. And so we were there within a week, and they went in, and they not only found that the hole in his heart was bigger than they thought it was, but they also found what's called a PAPVR, which is basically a vein is in the wrong location. It's going to his right chamber, and his right chamber is just working super hard, and it's all twisty looped. And when the doctor was like describing it, I was like, wait, what? But they said there's no chance of fixing it without doing open heart surgery. We were to PCS about a month later, not even a month later. So we were like kind of in the middle of how do do we stay here where we know all his doctors? Do we know we're in Jacksonville, Florida. They have a fantastic unit there, fantastic doctors. He had to go for a couple other things, so we knew everybody. We had
Right.
friends,
The
support
community.
system.
You had your
Yeah, we had a
community.
support system there. We had been there for 4 years and we knew a bunch of people. Um, and now we're going to PCS 3 weeks later and make this decision. Like, the doctor said, yes, you can wait. It's okay. Like, that's not a big deal. However, of course, in Mama's heart, I'm like, no, I really want to get it fixed now. No, I really don't want to get it fixed now because I'm scared that he's going to, it's open heart surgery, people. Like, this is huge.
Right.
So there were a lot of, in 4 years, we've had a lot of emotions, from that very first ultrasound. I'm not a depressed type person at all. I'm a pretty upbeat, I'm a pretty upbeat person. And those last few weeks of my pregnancy were very difficult because even though we had multiple ultrasounds, they couldn't tell us like exactly what his heart looked like. They couldn't tell us exactly what his arm looked like, which was so funny because every time I'd go into the ultrasound, they would like, you've had 6 ultrasounds and why are we doing this? And they're like, well, they just want to know like really what his arm looks like, what his hands look like. And they're like, well, I can do that. That's no big, every ultrasound kind of saw it as a challenge. But nope, he would always be laying on it. He'd always be, he was just being stubborn. And I honestly think that's kind of how he is today. He's the sweetest, sweetest kid, but he's like, none of this is going to hold me down.
He's a boy.
He's a boy and he is happy. Like he had, after his first major hand surgery, he had it all cast up. He had a giant pin through his hand and you could see like the pin coming out the other side. The next night, after we got home from the hospital and all of that, he goes over to his little piano and he starts bam, 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 and he's using it to, play on. And I was like, oh my gosh, stop. But he doesn't see it, he's just happy. He's so happy-go-lucky.
Our children are very resilient. That's what I say.
They are.
And most of us say in the military, they're even more resilient when they're in military children.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So he has, so fast forward, I guess, and we chose to wait because I didn't feel like open heart surgery, even though all of the ducks were in a row with a support system and knowing the doctors and things like that. I really didn't think like that was something that we needed to rush. I felt like we needed to go into it with the right space and so we waited, and we're here now in the Tampa area, and we found a surgeon that we're happy with, and God is good. Our support system has just grown immensely, and we feel very, very blessed that we can do this. And so next week, on Valentine's Day, my little heart warrior is going to get his heart fixed, and so I'm pretty excited about that. I'm very, very nervous.
But it's at the same time when you say excited, it's because you want you want it fixed.
I want it done. I want to.
At the same time, it's open heart surgery.
It is.
Our hearts will be with you, and prayers and thoughts and our community, and we're trying to pull people together for you because one less worry off of you, right?
Yeah, thank you very, very much.
We'll be praying. I have my prayer group. We'll be talking about you today. And next Wednesday, we will be meeting and having a big prayer for you and your family. And so, and keeping up. I mean, this is the first step, but this is not the end of his healing and being a heart warrior and continuing. Next year, since you are here in Tampa, we will be doing the, Tampa Bay Heart Walk at the Buccaneer Stadium. We'll have to have my coworker, her daughter, and your son, little pictures on shirts. I think that's a good plan, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, and I know you wear tutus, so get ready, Kim.
Oh man.
Yeah, I will make you wear tutu. We will bling it out. Tricking them like to bling it out. So we'll bling out your tutu, and we will march around Buccaneer Stadium with pride that our little heart warrior is going to pull through this, and everything is going to be heartbeat ready, right? One step at a time. Good. Yeah. So is there anything that you would like to share with our audience or anyone that could be pregnant right now, dealing with something similar that you have dealt with, or afterwards, or someone who's getting told that, I mean, this is how many surgeries has he had? since he's been born?
He's had two major hand surgeries. He's had a calf. He's got a couple other things still to do. But honestly, he was set up for another major hand surgery, and we were like, nope. When we found out that
Yeah,
that much was going on with
much.
his heart, we're like, nope, we got to get the heart fixed first. Um, so yeah, so he's still, yeah. Um,
So,
now,
is there anything that you want to share? Like, would you like someone who's in your position right now who could be watching, or someone's going to share this video who says, you know what, I know someone's dealing with this. And I know for Liz, she said that when she was pregnant, she found out, she kind of shut off. And I kind of understand. I mean, I had 3 babies and I never had anything like this. And I'm very thankful for that. However, when you're pregnant, you know, even the first like 3 months, you don't tell no one. You're just, you
mhm,
know, you're worried. And
yeah,
so I get where she came. She, you know, was told that she might not make it, and you're trying. You have a life growing in you, and you're loving that life.
yeah,
And how do you come to, you know, it might not make it, you know? So I get where she's coming from. But she said that she wished that she would have reached out. And then when my girlfriend, Sean, you know, she wished that they had more history for their family. You know, our families was talk. Let's talk about it. You know, let's, instead of keeping it like our health and keeping it in a closet, let's not talk about our issues. And then Stacy, our dear friend Stacy, which is your coastie buddy, you know, if she wasn't such an advocate for her husband, he wouldn't be here because, you know, the doctors brushed it off. He's young. He's only 27. You know, it's heartburn. And we get that a lot, even as a women being pregnant, that this is just heartburn.
yeah.
So is there anything that you would
I
like to?
think definitely, that, yeah, like I said, he is my third kiddo, and by now my mama's gut is pretty strong, I say, and my husband even
I like
knows
that
to
mama's
like,
gut.
you better trust it, because there's definitely been times over the years that I'm like, no, we're not doing this. There was a hand surgery that they wanted to do, and I was like, no, I'm not doing it, and I was sitting in a world class orthopedist, like, this is the guy that, like, made the surgery, and he just couldn't understand why I wouldn't want to do the surgery that we were doing, and or that he wanted to do. And he sent in one of his assistants, and to sit there and basically, talk me into this thing. And I was like, am I really the only person that has ever sat in this office and has questioned this surgery? And she told me I was, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? But on the same hand, so because of that, honestly, even though all my mama got, I still did not want to do it. I went ahead and I did it. And you know what that led into? It's still not right. And so we're still going to have to go in and do another surgery. For 7 months last year before we moved, every 2 weeks, Oliver and I, and thankfully I had a support system in Jacksonville, but Oliver and I, every 2 weeks, we drove 5 hours one way, and we would go see the physical therapist, and then the occupational therapist. We'd spend the night, we'd
So
go
your
back.
physical therapist is 5 hours away
Basically, because she was the only person that
to
knew
deal with
what
that.
to do with these different hand differences. Like, I went to, I don't know how, 4 different people in Jacksonville, and nobody was just, I mean, they all tried, absolutely, they're all wonderful people, but they had no experience when
And
it
then
came
they have to
to.
take our insurance. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's a whole nother fight, that I've had. But yeah. So we would. That's what I just felt like was the best thing for him.
that's
So
for you.
thankfully, I had the ability to do that.
Well, I want to give you more
So
hope because I know you have
did
2 older
that
kids and
every 2 weeks, and we would make different splints.
right.
We would make sure that the splints, were right. And anyway, and yeah. So my all that to say, trust your mommy gut, because I don't think I would have had to do all of that. He wouldn't have had to go through all of that um, if I would have just said no from the beginning and said, let's figure out a different way to do it. Um, and with this, doing his heart surgery. In the beginning, I was like, no, we got to get it done right now. We have the people, we know the doctors. And then my mom, my mommy gut again said, nope, we can wait on this. I don't want to rush on this. This is way, way, way too important for him. And it's all working out. It really is. It's all, there's a plan, and we're sticking to it. And Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's a good advice though. I always say the same thing, like go with your when you have that kind of feeling, it's just something's not there, try to go with it because usually that instinct, that natural
we
instinct is real.
I don't know if I'm allowed to use names of hospitals or whatnot, but we PCS here because of a certain hospital. Like that's what we were told. Like, oh yeah, this is the hospital you're supposed to go to. Blah blah blah. Like this, they're world renowned. They're on the heart list. Yeah, yada yada. Well, we get here and that hospital started having major issues, major issues
Yeah,
to
I've
where
seen
we
the
couldn't
articles.
use.
I'm gonna put you in
Yeah,
contact with
we
Liz.
couldn't use it.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you in contact with
What's
Liz
that?
later so that you can talk to her about it because she has a little bit background from her daughter being there. So yeah, I know we
Yeah.
try to stay
So
very
that wasn't
into the
being
to the lane
military.
because of all that, but people can
Yeah.
look it up, and that's another good point to put out that when people tell you this hospital's great and all that, make sure you really look at
Your
everything. Just because
research.
they're on a list does not make it the
And
best
just
place.
because your insurance said, "Oh yeah, go to this guy," but we've been
Yeah,
through two of those, and I went, "Nope, not. I'm not doing it." I went to we went to one appointment, and I walked away, and I said, "No, I couldn't do it."
yeah.
Um, So, and that was with
This
his
is
heart.
your child, or
With
it's
his
you.
legs was a whole nother one. We went to, gosh, I want to say names, but I don't want to say names.
Yeah.
But when we were little, yeah, when he was little, I wanted to get a second opinion on all these hand surgeries. I felt like that was my
Mhm.
due diligence. That was the right thing to do. And so we went to another guy, and literally, I mean, I walked in there saying, I want to know what the right plan is. I want to know how to do this, what's right. And the only good thing that came out of that appointment is that's exactly what happened. Because I walked out of there saying, nope, we will never ever come back to this guy again. Because he just wanted to amputate. He was like, yeah, you'll never use this again. Let's just amputate it.
No.
That boy cuts with the hand that they wanted to amputate. He cuts with. He's barely 4 years old and he cuts with his scissors and he can write his own name.
Yeah.
So again, just trust your mommy gut
And do
and
your
lean on
homework,
those
right?
people. Yeah, do your homework,
Do
lean on
your
the people
homework.
around you, and listen to him. Or listen to your kiddo too sometimes. So um,
Yeah, and I know he's
yeah,
home today, not feeling so well. So we're gonna put him in our little thoughts
yes,
there. If it's
yes.
feeling
Hey,
good.
Oliver, do you want to come say hi? Oliver. Oliver. Oh, he is so stuck into that movie right now. I told him he couldn't talk.
That's
That's my dog.
good. Hi, Oliver.
Hey, Oliver, come here. Come say hi to my friend. Oh, he's
Come.
coming. He's coming. Come here, baby boy. Oh, come here. Quick. Come say hi.
Good morning, Oliver. Thank you for joining us.
You say hi, Miss Holly.
You're such a strong boy. You're my little superhero. You know that?
Are we gonna get your heart fixed next week?
Yes.
Yes. Are you surprised to see yourself?
You're very
Hey, can we
handsome.
show can we show him the little video that you made a little while ago? Do you remember singing your strong song? Do you remember that? Do you want me to share that with you, Holly?
Yes, I would love for you to share that with me. And that's a good way for us to sign off today.
All right, sounds good. So we were driving, Oliver and driving a few months ago to school, and it was kind of an off day, I'll admit. And it was just he and I in the car, and all of a sudden he just starts singing this song, and he is like, it starts off kind of mellow, and then I won't do the whole thing, but by the end, man, he is just like, he is fist bumping. He is like, I am strong, and
You are strong.
I mean, it brought me to tears immediately because he knew what he needed to say. He knew that he is strong, and so I wanted to share it because whenever I have kind of an off day, or I know that I don't know when
Struggling.
my own heart is hurting, I can go back to this, and yeah, it makes me smile every time. So um, yeah, let me know.
You are strong.
Oh, so
You
yes, so
are
he
very
was.
strong, Oliver. We are all going to be praying and thinking about you next week, and I'll be checking up on your mommy and checking up on your status, okay? And then you'll have to come back. We'll have to come and have a few months later to see how you're doing. You talk to all of us, okay?
Will you come talk to us again?
Yeah, come talk to me again.
Yeah.
Come talk to Miss Holly.
All right.
I'm ready to go
Thank you,
play
Miss
now. Go,
Holly.
Oliver. Go play.
Say thank you, Miss
Continue
Holly.
fighting. So thank you, Kim, for sharing your story, your sweet baby story.
Yeah.
And I'll keep up with you. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. Again, I'm Holly with Military Home Base. And I look forward to talking out tomorrow. Come join me again. We're going to be talking to Gretchen. She's actually in California, and she also has a Go Red Heart story to share with us. So thanks, Kim. Big kisses.
Thank you very much, Holly.
Okay.
Bye. Have a great night,
Bye.
everyone.